Hello, you amazing, fantastic, wonderful, delicious, beautiful, bountiful coach. Yes, you. Look, I'm Ben Dooley, MCC coach. I am here to grow you, to grow your coaching, to help you be stronger, more confident, more solid, more focused, and just better. And that's what these videos are all about. Today I'm going to do part 2 of gratitude and growing. Look, I know you already know all about gratitude. It's a big thing in the personal development world, in the world that we do as coaches. It's taught in our coach training. It's a powerful tool to help our clients. We use gratitude journals. What are you grateful for? In my timeline, we just finished Thanksgiving. We're coming up at the end of Christmas and coming to New Year's. We look at all the things that we're grateful for. That's not exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about even something a little deeper. So bear with me. But I want to also clarify, I am grateful for the Coaching Skills Forum calls, and I'm grateful for all the coaches that come to these calls every single time. I've been doing these calls for 21 years. They just keep getting better, and they're free. So really, truly, come. I invite you, and you will be so grateful, and you will watch your coaching grow in amazing ways just by being on these calls. Oh yeah, and I mentioned they're free. Go to coachingskillsforum.com. Check them out. Really, truly. This is not a big sales pitch. It's free. This is here to help coaches grow. That's what I've got so much to give. It's there for you to take. So, and the topic coming up is all about gratitude and growing. Now, on the previous video, I talked a bit about kind of what that means in regards to our coaching work and the gratitude and how we focus and why we focus. And you may or may not be aware of this, but there's some deeper neuroscience. There's a lot of science involved in focusing on gratitude. There's a lot of metaphysical in the law of attraction. When you focus on the things you're grateful for, then the universe pulls it back to you or brings it to you. There's all these different theories and reasonings and platforms and ways that gratitude and growing work together. And again, whatever you subscribe to is absolutely fantastic and dead on right accurate. But again, I want to point you to something a little different, maybe. So when we talk about the world of gratitude and growing, I'm going to kind of separate these for a second. Gratitude are the things that we are grateful for, that we accept, that we embrace, that we hold with regard, that are also typically in alignment with our values, right? When you think about that, first off, values is powerful, deep coaching tools that we utilize. Values are the things that turn us on, that excite us, that fill us with passion, with desire, with purpose, with meaning. It's our values that get expressed, connected, revealed, experienced. When we get our values met, that makes life worth living. That makes life rich and magical. That is what identifies and justifies life as being wonderful and delicious. It's what we strive for. It's what we yearn for. It's what we insist in a deep, profound, powerful way. This must be in my world. It's one of the reasons why I do these videos. It's because they fulfill my own values in many, many ways. I hope that they connect and fulfill yours in some ways too. So typically we are grateful for the things that make us feel good and that give us a value or advantage or benefit or reward. We are grateful for all those things. So Pause that. And then let's talk a little bit about growing. And we look at growing in the terms of when we get stronger, when we get better, when things move and progress in ways that we are satisfied or that please us, when we feel that there's an advantage or we're able to really track our progress. I mean, there's many different ways that we can identify and establish growing. And quite frankly, let's be honest, every day of our lives is growing. From the day you were born, you have been growing. You've been getting taller and bigger, and your face is changing and your body is shifting. And I mean, this is really obvious when we are young, and every week, every month, every year we change physically. And the same is true as we get older. I mean, I notice it in my hair, I notice it in my face, I notice it in other parts of me. You notice it in you. Physical growing is happening constantly at a very slow and subtly noticeable, but when we, in the span of time, we're able to notice it. We're also growing intellectually, right? We're able to think new things. We're able to stretch our ideas and open up to new ways of thinking and creating mentally. We're growing constantly. We're growing, hopefully, emotionally. As we continue to grow physically in this world, we are able to discover and learn and experience more of ourselves emotionally, more of our body and kinesthetics and being involved, and even just growing spiritually, or just in spirit. I mean, that's part of the journey that we are all on. We are all here. We all start small. We can only think very small and limited. We can only feel in certain ways. We can only do our body in certain ways. I mean, all of this, if you look at when we were little babies, we were very small in all ways. And then every day, week, month, year, we continue to grow. We're constantly growing. Now, when we talk about the world of coaching, by the way, we're talking about not just growing automatically, growing naturally. We're now in coaching, we're talking about intentionally honing our focus on growing, about really being purposeful about where do we grow, how do we grow, what does growing look like, feel like, mean? How do we identify it? How do we create it? Rather than just going through life growing, it's about harnessing your focus and your intention. I'm going to even go one step further and say it's about accessing your mental growth, your emotional growth, your physical growth, and your spirit growth in order to grow. You get this, right? Because that part of you that is struggling and fighting and hard and growth doesn't work the way I want it to, that part doesn't know how to grow. It just naturally grows the way our body dictates it. But then there's that powerful part of us that knows we are here to grow. That is our cast in life. That is what we are charged in a deep, profound way. We are here to grow. So let's start doing it. That's what coaching is all about. Isn't that amazing? Here is a profession, your profession, that is all about intentionally, purposefully growing. And these two really work in beautiful harmony. Because as we just said, what you give attention to grows. What you feed mentally and emotionally, what you are grateful for, is a positive thing, and we want more of that, and that opens up and steers us towards more intentional, purposeful growth. So that's really the bottom line to all of this. Now, let's get a little deeper. Because as I said, You're always growing. There is no ungrowth. There is no negative growth. I mean, there are times when emotionally we revert to old habits and old fears. There are times when intellectually we revert or we conveniently forget. And certainly as age continues, as we get older and older and older, we have our decline. But that's still not the same as ungrowth. We are constantly evolving and shifting and moving and expanding in different ways, even when we get to ripe old ages, where it may be harder for us to think. Our emotions are being challenged or affected, or it's harder to really manage them. Our bodies are falling apart, whatever that is, and our spirit. That's not what I'm talking about. It's just a transition that we're going through. We're still growing, always growing. And so if that's the case, if we're constantly always growing, whether we're unintentionally and just automatically shifting and moving and evolving, or we are putting our attention and our purpose and our passion and our meaning towards growing, we are always growing. And now, gratitude, back to gratitude. Because instead of just being very selective and specific and really like just kind of only these are the good things, try this on. Being grateful for everything, even the hard stuff, even the things that don't go your way, even the things that are painful and frustrating, even the things that are just horrible. And I'm not saying bright side or silver lining or, well, it could have been worse. There's actually a gratitude there. Now, I'm just expressing off of generality. I'm not talking about your specifics. You may have specific challenges that are horrible or frustrating or painful. And I'm not here to absolve that and make it all magically better. But what I am talking about, and we can do this with little things to just try this, is to look at some of the events of your life that did not go the way you wanted. But look at what was able to occur because of that. Look at the skills you had to learn. Look at the direction that your life had to change. Whether it was the fact that when I got fired from my last real job, and it was painful and it was frustrating. But through a series of events from that catalyst moment, I now am here talking to you. I now stand as a coach coming up on 23 years and helping and training and discovering and guiding coaches. And the work that I do with coaches, I get to turn back onto myself. Now, there were many other switches and doorways and things. It's not that I got fired back in 96 or 97, and then that made everything magical, because there's a gap there. But that was still a turning point for me. The fact that I broke up, or I got broken up with, or that these relationships didn't work. The fact that I've tried projects and projects and projects and trying to get things moving, and they just don't seem to work. But they do lead me to the next thing. The fact that I've lost people in my life, the fact that I've had frustrating opportunities, we all have had that. And again, I'm not here to compare with you. I'm here to just use these basic moments as examples. And I'm not telling you to be happy about the painful things in your life. What I'm suggesting is to be grateful. Why? Because in part, that is what life is. Life isn't just pick and choose and it's all wonderful and happy. life is the experience of life. You cannot have the joy without the pain. You cannot have happiness without sadness. You cannot have love unless there's fear. It doesn't mean that you have to feel it. It just means that it's part of life. And so we can either resist, we can attempt to pick and choose, but life is still going to happen. Life is still going to keep dealing us wonderful things and hard things. Or we can accept. This actually points to a deeper coaching platform that I bring in my training. I had gotten from elsewhere and I had modified it, but it's really about recognizing the perfection in everything, the gift in everything, and the opportunity that lies in everything. This is really just a modification. By the way, that topic is on other Coaching Skills Forum conversations. You can go to coachingskillsforum.com, check that out. But all of this is really just detailing a deeper look at what are you grateful for? Even the hard things. Because those hard things have shaped who you are, for better or for worse. Those hard things continually were pathways and directions and new avenues and new blocks, and you had to back up and start again or discover something or create something. And I'm sorry if you had to experience a lot of pain. I don't like that. But I do have to hold the belief that everything in life is worth being grateful for. Doesn't mean it's pleasurable. It just means to receive it. And when we do that, it doesn't mean that we're grateful and we're going to get more of it. It means that we receive it so we can move on, so we can move bigger. Because remember, that automatic growth versus intentional, purposeful growth, which is what we do in coaching, right? You get where these two are synergizing. Is that a word? Let's make it one. When we're grateful for everything, including the hard, the pain, the frustrating, as well as the joy, the magnificent, the delicious, when we are grateful for that, the burden gets to be released. And then we get to continue growing in the pathways that we choose. Again, I'm not saying that that's magically easy. I'm saying that's how this really works. And you know that because that's the work that we do in coaching. And I point this all back to you, dear coach, because we're here to champion our clients. We're here to help them really, truly be grateful for the life that they have so that they can grow the life that they want to have. Those two work hand in hand so gorgeously and perfectly. And the same is true for you. My wish for you, end of year, this is the final topic of the Coaching Skills Forum for 2025. My wish for you is that you are able to truly accept and be grateful for everything that's in your life. Even just coaching business, be grateful for the training that you've had. Be grateful for the skills that you've learned so that you can help others as well as yourself. Be grateful for those clients that hired you and who fired you. Be grateful for those clients who said yes to you and for those who said no to you. Be grateful for those easy clients. Be grateful for those hard, difficult clients. I look back over the last nearly 23 years of my coaching, and I've had just as much roller coaster and up and down and succeed and fail and good and bad and all those judgments as any other coach. I've had frustrations. I've had joys. I don't want to repeat a lot of them, but I am grateful for all of them because they've brought me here to you and being able to share this with you. And hopefully you get to continue this on. I wish you, well, depending on when you watch this, I wish you a happy holidays, a happy, wonderful, magical Christmas, or New Year. And if you're watching an archive and this is later and you're like, wow, it's in the middle of April or it's August, yeah, okay. I wish you a happy wherever, whenever you are. And I am grateful that you watched this. I'm grateful that you lasted this long. And I hope that this continues to stretch and grow you. Keep coming back for more because there's so much more. Go to coachingskillsforum.com, get on these calls, listen to the recordings. You will be grateful that you did, and you will grow in amazing ways. And they're free. Please take them. And until next time, I wish you marvelous, magical, majestic, masterful gratitude and growing. Hey there, you beautiful, amazing, fantastic, delicious, razzle-dazzle, and masterful coach. Yes, you, masterful coach, because you're watching this, which tells me you are a masterful coach. There's more to learn, and that's where I come in. Go to bedo.org. You'll also see it right here. And go to bedo.org, and that's where you're going to find tons of other materials, resources, videos, recordings, audios, free calls, a free membership level, tons of stuff, incredible amounts of materials just for you. Regardless of whatever level of coach you are right now, you are going to find tremendous value and resource. And it's all here at bedo.org. bedo.org. Go check it out, and I will see you there. Bye-bye.